All right, I'm gonna give you the world's fastest meditation. You can literally do it in 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. 60 seconds, I've found, is a good number because you start getting to that 20 and 30 point and your brain starts wandering back and you start having thoughts about like, oh, it's taking forever, whatever. It's amazing what 60 seconds, what focused breath meditation can do. I'm not gonna go to the benefits of meditation. I'm not gonna talk about anything like that. Here's the thing about meditation. Meditation is simply removing thoughts from your head, being in the present moment, and trying to just focus on your breath or your breathing or just closing your eyes and seeing nothing. That's all it is. You can do it in 10 seconds. In fact, let's do it real quick. There, I just meditated. Oh my gosh, so hard. I didn't need to get a special pillow. I didn't need to have some app. I literally just meditated. I like doing it in the shower. I like doing it when I'm walking. There's forms of moving meditation like Tai Chi. Obviously, anything that brings you into really mindful state, like playing a game or your work in flow state and things like that. These are different forms of kind of mindfulness meditation, but they all have a similar effect. They're intense focus on one thing and the removal of everything else. And so the Buddha talked about meditation as anything that is not in the present moment, where there's nothing else going on but right now, and you're just here with seeing exactly what you're seeing, touching exactly what you're touching, and you're not thinking about the past or the future, because the past or the future is suffering. So anything that is not supremely in the moment now is suffering. Now, of course, we're not all going to become monks and meditate under a tree for days, months, years on end to find nirvana or whatever. And a lot of the stuff I've been reading actually has talked about how even trying to seek enlightenment itself is a bad idea because you're just yearning after something else in the future that you want to get. Our ancestors, when they were hunting, when they were in the wild, there were times where they had to be intensely in the moment. This is why it's so beneficial to our species. And why a constantly distracted, bouncing around, attention switching, plugged into the matrix mind struggles with depression, with anxiety, with angst, and all these other things. Simply put though, if you're upset right now, granted somebody's not torturing you, if you're upset right now and you're not undergoing physical harm whatsoever, you're likely in the past or the future. You're in the past because you're obsessing about something that happened that you haven't come to terms with, or you're in the future and you're worried about something that may or may not happen, or the bills that have to be paid or whatever. But when you're in the moment, there's nothing there. And this is the thing that all the spiritual gurus, this is what they're trying to promote for you. They want you to come to the moment. They want you to remove the suffering of the past and the future. And they want you to enjoy the bliss that comes from realizing that the only thing you ever have is this moment. So how do we meditate? The video is the world's fastest meditation. All right, now I'm going to give you my exact style to do this. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You could do something like transcendental meditation where you get a word and you repeat it and whatever. They want you to pay to do that. You could probably figure it out on your own. There is some benefit to going to something like that and getting some of the training and really building the habit and getting a certain word or whatever and paying and having some skin in the game. But aside from that, I want you to start being able to meditate every day. Maybe it's in the morning for a few minutes in the sun. Maybe it's at night in the shower, whatever it is. These are my strategies for meditating. And by making it as simple as possible and as attainable as possible, you're more likely to do it. Anytime you can take a break, stand still, sit still, whatever, and just listen to your breath. Let your thoughts go by like clouds passing by. You're going to get benefit. It's amazing what it can do. You can combine this with breath work, like and stuff like that, whatever. I don't want to make it too complicated. So this is what I do. When I'm trying to do a basic like 1 minute or 30-second breath meditation, I'm counting 1 on my in-breath and I'm counting out on my 1 breath. And then what I do is I close my eyes. And I don't know if you remember the old cartoons where they would put numbers on the screen. It was like for kids, teaching kids or whatever. I forget the name of that show. Always remember and visualize those numbers of how they sometimes would like fade in and maybe fade out. That's what I try to do in my mind. So I visualize a 1, a big blocky 1 number. And I visualize it starting far away, coming in, getting bigger. And then when it hits like that, big enough, I imagine maybe in front of my face or whatever as it visualizes in my mind. Then it's big and then it goes away and it's slowly. And it's basically timed to my breath. So 1. And so in my mind, what just happened was a 1 in my mind came big and went away. Now for me, I like to combine this with something visual versus just trying to like see black because your thoughts will start coming in. And so for me, by focusing on that 1, I'm eliminating everything else. If you were doing transcendental meditation, let's say you had a word. Maybe you were trying to do positive visualization. Maybe it was health or some power word or whatever, okay? So I could maybe visualize the word health coming in. and then health going out. And I can just do that over and over and over again. I like using the numbers though, because it does change my mind. And so I feel like I'm making like a little bit of progress, and it helps me from going to other things. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to eliminate the constant thoughts, or the monkey mind, as they say, that keep bounces up and there's something new that's in your mind, or you're thinking about, or you're worried about. The goal of meditation is to be able to become in control of that. And the more you do it, the easier it is for those thoughts to come in and then just fade away. Most people, they try to go into a meditative state and they become anxious if thoughts come in, and they're like, I'm failing or whatever. And they put all these restrictions around it and these ideals around it, and they just end up failing, and it ends up defeating the freaking purpose. So super simple. Let's do 10. That's 1. Visualize 1 coming in, 1 going out. Now 2. Feels great. The key is doing that throughout your day. Start with once a day, maybe turn into a little ritual. Do it to break up your work. Just find opportunities to do it. It doesn't have to be some crazy thing. Don't build a huge routine around it until you've been doing it and you're consistent. And then you can evolve it to whatever you want. And if you get to a point where you're meditating 20, 30 minutes a day or whatever, that's awesome. I hope you take some action with this. I hope you do this. It's very actionable. Do a 5 count, right? That's your mission for today. A 5 count meditation with your eyes closed, where you visualize the number in and out 5 times on 5 out breaths and 5 in breaths. Let me know what you think about this below. Comment, like, share if you want. Subscribe for more videos around health, mindset, wellness, and hop on the AM5 newsletter over at Colin.coach. Hey, Colin here. Got a freebie for you. Click on the button below to go to the ancestralmind.com and download the 7 principles of living wild. This is a short PDF that's got some of the main principles, such as real food, sleep, movement, and a couple more that are going to help you live more ancestrally in accordance with your genes.